All right, so a big part of protecting the lower back is making sure that your hips are mobile and they are stable. And so a lot of that is getting the muscles around the hip activated and getting them firing, and also balancing out the hips so that they can take the load and they can move freely without the pelvis or the low back moving itself. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite activations, one of my favorite drills, not only to get muscles around the hip firing, but it's also a great way to balance out your hips. And I'll show you what we're gonna do. But basically, we're gonna do some counter movements here and just create some isometric contractions. You're gonna use your hands to push against your legs in various directions, and then drive your legs into your hands to create that contraction, okay? All right, so the first part of this activation is we're going to work on some hip extension and hip flexion, okay? Now, both of those are very important when it comes to movements like the deadlift and the squat, because we are flexing our hips and we are extending our hips. So we're going to lay back on the ground. Now, we want to make sure that our lower back is into the ground. If our lower back starts to arch up, we're going to lose core tension. We want to keep that core tension because it ties everything together, okay? Hips at 90, knees at 90, feet at 90. One hand is going to go behind your hamstring and it's going to pull towards you as you drive away. So I've got my hand coming in and my leg going out. The other hand is going to go on the front of the knee and it's going to push away from you as you drive in. So the hand goes out, the knee goes in. We're creating this counter force, these opposing forces here. So we're going to create that tension and we're going to contract as hard as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we will switch. We go to the opposite side, same thing. Hand pushes in, knee drives up, hand pulls up, knee drives out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. All right, you want to do that 3 to 5 times minimum before a workout, and you can actually do that every day to balance out your hips and make sure that your pelvis and the muscles around your pelvis are nice and strong. Make sure your core is tight, you are contracting those muscles as hard as you can, and control your breathing. All right, the second part of the activation, and you can do these back to back. It's actually a great thing to do as a warm-up, as an activation, but also as a day-to-day hip strength and hip balancing exercise. This one's going to work on abduction of the legs, pulling apart, and adduction of the legs, driving them in. Okay, so I'm gonna flip around so you can see what my legs are actually doing, like so. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place the hands on the outside of the leg. We're gonna drive the hands in, and we're gonna drive the knees into the hands. So I'm feeling a lot of tension in my outer hips here as I contract, and once again, we gotta keep that core engaged, lower back in the ground, and focus on your breathing. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna move the arms inside, like so. We're gonna drive the arms out and squeeze the legs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, again, you wanna do that for a minimum of 3 to 5 reps on each and every side. You can work up to even 10 of those and do a couple of sets at the beginning of your workout. That, coupled with the hip extension and hip flexion exercise that I just sent you, is going to be great for your hips. It's just going to get you in a better position and allow you to use your hips, use your glutes to move that weight rather than your lower back. Hopefully that helps. Give it a try. Let me know what you think.